obviously you have the upcoming release of Blown Away, which is so exciting because it's on Netflix. But I'm wondering, what's that like for you getting to film something like this and then have it come up to release date so soon?
Well, it never feels soon. I think it's been a year since we stopped filming, or a little bit under. So I am beyond excited for it to come out at this point. I've been telling my friends and family all about it. Anybody who'll listen, how cool this show is going to be, it's particularly this season because the glass artists are just so great. So finally, I'll be vindicated, and I think my parents will believe me that I actually did the show.
Right now they're not sure. They're like, maybe, maybe not.
They're like, he used to lie about stuff like this as a child, so who knows what he's gonna do.
Fair enough. And everyone this season is so talented. I'm wondering, were you a fan of this before getting to host this? Because obviously this is the fourth season. People know what they're getting into.
Yeah, I mean, I had seen it a long time ago when it came out, and then when I found out that they were recasting the host, I was like, okay, I should watch an episode or two, in the few days before my call. And in the 2 or 3 days before the call happened, I watched every single episode from start to finish all over again
Wow.
and just re-fell in love with it. Like by the time I had the call, I had all this unnecessary pressure because I was like now in love with the show. I probably shouldn't have watched it, and I would have done better.
Yeah, you just had a binge of everything and then you were ready to go.
Yeah, I was like, I watched every season, their Christmas season, and I just couldn't stop. It's such an easy show to watch too, because they're 30, 40-minute episodes or even less. And every episode ends with like an amazing form of art and always has some people breaking their pieces of glass, which is fun to experience too.
Yeah, who doesn't love that? But I'm wondering if you were cast on a competition show like this, what would your talent be or what would the plot be of the show?
Well, I've said it before that like if I were doing the glass blowing part, and my glass broke like 2 hours into a 4 hour competition, I would break everyone else's glass. I would just go down the line with like a hammer and be like, "We're all starting over. It's not
Fair enough.
fair."
Yeah.
But they're all so cool with it. They're so used to having to restart, since they're all experienced veterans, that it never bothered them when they had to restart, not beyond, a few seconds of deep breathing. And then they were just on. I would cry. If my glass broke, I'd be like, I'm gonna sob and I'm gonna see myself out. I'm going home.
Fair enough. I feel like you just got to get everyone to restart with you so it's all fair again and you have a good chance at winning.
I don't think it's asking for too much.
Seems fair. But I know this isn't your first time getting to host. I know you've had previous experience, but what's something that you've learned about yourself as a host and a creative in taking on this particular project?
Uh, well, I think it made me learn. I do a lot of painting. Um, and I think it made me learn that painting is the easiest thing in the world to do art wise compared to glass blowing. Like I was very lucky to have a friend who was a great painter and he lived with me for a while. And so he got to teach me, or I got to learn from him a lot. But when we were doing it, we were in the comfort of our you know, uh, extra room with like easels and air conditioning. Like the world of glass blowing is unrelenting for a beginner and for someone who's been doing it for 50 years. It's the same exact hot shop, and you're still carrying, 10, 20 pounds of glass at the end of a pipe. It's insane.
Yeah, I feel like I have to ask, did you paint the picture in the background?
No, ironically, you're not seeing any of the artwork I did, but my dad did that. My dad
Oh,
is an
wow.
artist as well, and I have a painting from my grandma in the house.
So this runs in
So
the
paint
family.
art runs in the family. Now my mother, who's never been artistic, is retired and she's learning how to paint. So in the beginning, she would show me some of the worst paintings you've ever seen in your life and say, well, what do you think? And I'd go, really good, mom, really
Love it.
good. But now she's actually getting, I mean, she's as good a painter as the rest of us now, which is really fun to watch. It's just, I think a lot of people think art is unattainable if you don't have that like magic touch, but it really is a learnable skill, just like everything else.
Definitely. What would your advice be to someone like me who can only draw stick figures?
Put a little meat on those stick figures. Eventually, you're gonna have a real human, Like it doesn't matter what it is, if it's drawing or, music or a sport, legitimately, especially something like art, you could do it for the rest of your life. And I promise you, if you gave yourself not even a year or 5 years, but if you gave yourself 3 months, 2 months, 1 month of trying it, uh, you will see marked improvement. It will just blow your mind what you can do.
Fair enough. I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated.
Thanks. And watch YouTube videos. I watched a ton of YouTube videos to learn how to paint, just like I watched a ton of YouTube videos to prepare for Blown Away. And it definitely helps. There's a lot of resources out there.
Yes, obviously I'm blown away you get to see all these amazing creations, but was there a favorite moment or memory from your time on this set?
Um, I got to blow glass one day.
Okay.
Um, and it was really, really exciting to experience it for myself. But the most exciting part was the appreciation it gave me for everybody else doing it, because I did it for one day. These people, I mean, we were there for 6 weeks and they have to blow glass, 10, 11, 12 times. Um, and they're there for a lot longer than I was. So I think that, again, was just another step towards me appreciating the art form to the amount it deserves to be appreciated.
Did you get to keep the glass that you blew, or was it just a one and done?
I did. I blew a cup and then I got to keep that. And it's one of the worst cups you'll ever see in your entire life.
But
It
it
doesn't
has
make any
memories.
sense. It has memories. It can't hold anything really, but it's got memories. But then I got to blow a little glass balloon bear,
Oh,
which I think blew everyone away. Like all the rest of the people on the show, and my, Catherine Gray, my resident evaluator, and our guest judges that came in, they were like, "You didn't actually do this," and I was like, "I did," because I've been like watching them for weeks, and so that's how I learn, is a lot of just observation and trying to put what I saw into actual practice. And yeah, I mean, it was so much fun to get that opportunity to do what I could.
definitely. What would you do if you could do it now? What would you blow?
I mean, I'd get a cup that works. That'd be number one,
Fair.
just because I can't put any liquid into the balloon bear. Um, I would love to do some stuff, some actual practical stuff for family. Like, I would just love to make some cups or vases for my parents or my girlfriend or whoever. Like, I just want to make things that I can give as gifts, because the balloon bear is mine forever. Nobody's getting that.
Yeah, you got to keep that as like sentimental.
Absolutely.
Definitely. But my last question for you, obviously this release is so exciting, but do you have any future projects you can hint at or talk about?
Well, besides this, it's fun being on TV and especially being on Netflix, but I started on YouTube, and so lately I've been going back to YouTube, kind of like running this production company called Poppy Studios with a friend of mine. And it's been one of the most rewarding experiences. And the only reason I bring that up is we just released a card game called The Menu, and it's like a dating game, and there's a friends version. It's like, how well are you guys? How compatible are you really? How many points can you get, or how many cards will it take to get to 1,000 points? And each card is a different point value, but they get harder. So if you're interested, go to themenu.cards and check it out. They're available for pre-order now, and we're going to start shipping them out in April.
Fair enough. That sounds exciting, and I love that you're always keeping busy.
Yeah, downtime is pretty scary to me. So definitely trying to fill up every second.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But congratulations on everything again, and thank you so much for your time.
Of course. Thank you for having me.